The first part of the Chunin exams wasn't really a test. It was one giant deception. This wasn't a test of knowledge, but a brutal test of cunning, espionage, and the ability to gather intel from behind enemy lines. Dozens of genin tried to cheat, but whose methods were the most ingenious and whose were outright failures? Today, we're breaking down the top 10 best ninja spies from the written exam. And trust me, the number one spot is going to surprise you. But first, a quick reminder of the rules of this deadly game. The genin had 1 hour to answer 9 questions so difficult, they were nearly impossible to solve without help. If you were caught cheating 3 times, your entire team was disqualified. And yes, if one person fails, the whole team fails. And most importantly, the real point of the test wasn't knowledge. The examiners wanted to see who could secretly gather information. Those who cheated skillfully were actually being rewarded. And the 10th and final question, that was a separate test of mental fortitude. Our grading criteria are stealth, effectiveness, and teamwork. Let's get into it. Number 10. Kicking off our list at number 10, we have the genius of the Uchiha clan, Sasuke. His method, the legendary Sharingan. Sasuke simply copied the pencil movements of the guy sitting in front of him. In terms of stealth, it's perfect. From that distance, it's almost impossible to notice an activated Sharingan, but its effectiveness is lacking. First, you don't know which question he's answering. Second, you have no idea if the answer is even correct. It's a total gamble. And the biggest failure? Teamwork. 0. Sasuke didn't even think about helping Naruto. For the coolness of the Sharingan and the excellent stealth alone, he gets the number 10 spot. Number 9. At number 9, we have man's best friend himself, Kiba Inuzuka. His plan, his loyal dog Akamaru, sits on his head and signals the answers to him. Effectiveness? Well, Akamaru could only peek at the tests of his immediate neighbors. The options were limited. Stealth? Debatable. A dog nodding along to the answers is bound to raise some suspicion. But it's definitely better than Kiba craning his own neck. But as for teamwork, it's another miss. Kiba didn't think about Hinata or Shino. Was he just confident they'd be fine on their own? Maybe. But that doesn't earn him any extra points. It's cute, but not very effective. Number 8. Number 8 goes to the master of ninja tools, Ten. Her method is a true spy gadget, using thin threads of wire and a system of mirrors on the ceiling to see other people's answers. Stealth? It's 50-50. The wires themselves are nearly invisible, but setting them up and constantly looking at the ceiling? It's just too obvious. Its effectiveness was also limited. Just like Kiba, she could only see a few other tests. But here's where she gets major points. Teamwork. She didn't just cheat for herself, she also helped Rock Lee. Now that is worthy of respect. For her team spirit, she gets number 8. Number 7. Coming in at number 7 is the guy who outdid everyone in sheer audacity, Kankuro. His method was a brilliant one-man show of deception. He disguised his puppet, Karasu, as one of the exam proctors and sent it walking around the classroom. The real proctor was also in the room, making this an incredibly risky move. The puppet gathered information from other tests while Kankuro just sat back and waited. Yes, he eventually got caught and had 2 points deducted. But he managed to pass all the answers to Tamari, who kept a clean sheet. So for its complexity, boldness, and partial teamwork, he earns a well-deserved 7th place. Number 6. The 6th spot is taken by the most stealthy ninja in the entire room, Dosu Kanuta from the village hidden in the sound. His method was virtually undetectable. Even if all the proctors had stood around his desk, they wouldn't have noticed a thing, because Dosu wasn't watching. He was listening. Using his unique ability, he could pick up the faint sounds of pencils scratching on paper, essentially hearing the answers. This is the gold standard of espionage, but it had its downsides. He could likely only eavesdrop on his immediate neighbors. And of course, we saw no teamwork here whatsoever. He was working entirely for himself. Nevertheless, for his near-perfect stealth, he takes 6th place. Number 5. At number 5, we have the first person on our list to break free from his immediate surroundings, Gaara of the Sand. Using his famous third eye technique, created from sand, Gaara could spy on anyone in the auditorium. He was a true sniper among cheaters. It didn't matter where the target was sitting, his sand eye could get there and see everything. For effectiveness, it's a solid A+, but his execution was a bit flawed. He created the eye right there on his desk and rather dramatically. He easily could have been spotted. Furthermore, he didn't help Kankuro or Tamari. His siblings had to figure things out for themselves. A powerful technique, but a lack of team play keeps him from climbing any higher than number 5. Number 4. Fourth place goes to a nearly perfect spy, Shino Aburame. His method is similar to Gaara's, but with one huge advantage: he didn't need to hide anything. Shino uses his Kikaichu, his parasitic insects. This is simply genius. One bug crawls over to another test, sees the correct answer, and returns. And what if it gets noticed and swatted? No problem, Shino just sends a new one. This method is both effective and incredibly stealthy. The proctors could be sitting on his head and they still wouldn't figure it out. The insects work completely in the shadows, making Shino virtually untouchable. But there's one drawback here too. No teamwork. He only helped himself, even though with his abilities, he could have provided answers for the entire village. For a nearly flawless technique but a selfish execution, he gets 4th place. Number 3. At number 3, taking the bronze medal, is the genius of the Hyuga clan, Neji, another contestant who could look at any test in the entire room. Thanks to his Byakugan, he can see through walls, objects, and of course, right through other people, reading their answers directly. In terms of effectiveness, it's on par with Gaara's eye, and perhaps even better. Yes, hiding the bulging veins on his face when activating the Byakugan isn't easy, but all Neji had to do was cover his face with his hands as if deep in thought, and no one would suspect a thing. It looks completely natural. So for effectiveness and stealth, he gets a solid A+. But like Shino, he didn't help anyone on his team. Rock Lee and Tenten were on their own. For his incredible power but lack of team spirit, he takes 3rd place. Number 2. And now we've reached the final stretch. 2nd place, and I put this character here for a very specific reason, Ino Yamanaka. Why is she ranked higher than Neji and Shino? Because she was the only one on our list who managed to help both of her teammates. Now that is true teamwork. Using her mind transfer jutsu, she possessed Sakura, memorized her answers, and then relayed them to both Choji and Shikamaru. Yes, the technique has its limitations. She's vulnerable while using it, and she needs her targets to be sitting in front of her. But she took the risk and secured a win for all of Team 10. For her incredible stealth, effectiveness, and most importantly, for her 100% commitment to teamwork, Ino earns her silver medal. 1st place. This spot goes to the one who managed to outsmart not just a few Chunin proctors, but the master of interrogation himself, the Jonin Ibiki Marino. 1st place goes to Naruto Uzumaki. That's right, he didn't get a single answer by cheating. He didn't even realize that was the objective, but he did something far more important. Before the 10th question, Ibiki gave everyone a false choice. Either risk it all and be banned from the exams forever if you fail, or give up now and fail your team. It was a psychological trap designed to prey on their fear, and many of them fell for it, but not Naruto. With his famous speech, he shattered Ibiki's manipulation. He declared he wasn't afraid to fail because his goal was to become Hokage, and the rank of Chunin was just a stepping stone. His determination was so contagious that it inspired everyone else in the room to stay. He didn't just save his own team, he saved dozens of other genin who were ready to give up. Now that is teamwork on an auditorium-wide scale. He single-handedly beat the system. For figuring out the true, deepest meaning of the test of resolve, Naruto Uzumaki takes his well-deserved 1st place. So, which method from the exam do you think was the best? Or maybe I forgot someone? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to read your opinions. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.